welcome to the third and final day of our 3-day inter-school festival, M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange. Technically, this is the second segment of the day where we will see students of standard 7 to 10 battle it out, of course, all in good fun, to win the M.C.KEJIRWAL Incognito, our declamation competition. Typically, declamation requires students to select a speech that was delivered in public and perform an excerpt of that speech to an audience. Participants have shortened the text of the speech to meet the time requirements, which is 3+1, 4 minutes. Students are encouraged to develop an oration that delivers the message of the author in an original and engaging manner. But before we begin with the proceedings of the competition, I have a very pleasant duty to perform. I extend a very warm welcome to our honored guest and judge, Mrs. VIDYAPEETH. Can we have the slide on Mrs. Peacock? Thank you. She's Director, James Academia International School, and was also the former principal, La Martinia for Girls, Kolkata, recipient of countless awards, including the National Award for Teachers from His Excellency, the President of India, the Mother Teresa Millennium Award, the Telegraph Award for Noted Academician, and the Outstanding Teacher Award from the University of Pennsylvania. Ma'am Peacock, we are very pleased to have you with us this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I also welcome our respected chairman, Mrs. Kishan Kumar Kejriwal, CEO, Mr. Partho Sharuki Chakraborty, Director, Mr. Neelkant Gupta, Principal, Mrs. Malika Mukherjee, Headmaster, Mr. Vishwajit Mojumdar, Mr. Bitan Bishash, who is Principal, Madhustali VIDYAPEETH, Mr. Abhay Kejriwal, our gifted young participants, all faculty members, and of course, the lovely audience. It's time to begin the competition. Ma'am Peacock, do we have your permission? Should we begin with the competition?
Please do begin, and good wishes to all participants.
Thank you so much. Our first participant is Udita Mishra from G.D. Goenka Public School, Dakhineshwar, Kolkata.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm audible clearly?
Yes, you are.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for their kind invitation to enabling me to participate in this wonderful forum. I am Udita Mishra. I am from G.D. Goenka Public School, Declamation. Today, I am here to represent about a very fascinating topic about how Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose urged the people of India to join him in his fight against British rule and rally of Indians in Burma. Friends, 12 months ago, a new program of mobilization was placed before Indians in East Asia. Today, I shall give an account of our achievements during past year and shall place our demands before you for the coming year. But before I do so, I want you to realize what a golden opportunity we have for winning freedom. The Britishers are now engaged in a worldwide struggle. They have suffered defeat after defeat on so many fronts. The enemy, having been considerably weakened, has made our fight easier than it was 5 years ago. Such rare and God-given opportunity comes once in a century. That's why we have stand fully to utilize this opportunity for liberating our motherland from British yoke. I am very much hopeful and optimistic for the outcome of our struggle because I don't rely merely on the effort of 3 million Indians in East Asia. There is a gigantic movement going on inside India, and millions of our countrymen are prepared for maximum suffering and sacrifice to achieve liberty. I have told you that if you give me total mobilization, I would give you a second front. I have redeemed that pledge. The first phase of the campaign is over now. I have asked for men, money, and material. I have caught them in generous measure, but we have to understand that men, money, and material could not buy themselves in victory or freedom. We should have the India may lead. The desire to face a martial step so that path to freedom may be paved with martial blood. Friends, my comrades, in the war of liberation, today I demand of you one thing above all. Today I demand of you blood. It is blood alone that can avenge the blood that the enemy has spilled. It is blood alone that can pay the price of freedom. Give me blood, I promise you freedom. Jai Hind! Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Udita. The performance, you were very convincing as revolutionary leader, Netaji. Thank you, that was lovely. Our next participant is Ayush De from GD Goenka Public School, Dakshineshwar, Kolkata.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Ayush, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to everyone present here. Today, I'm going to be delivering a speech written by Winston Churchill. This speech was delivered on the 20th of August 1940 in the House of Commons, London. This speech was given during the Second World War during the pivotal Battle of Britain. This was a time when German bombers and other fighter planes swarmed over the skies over London and other major cities. And the comparatively smaller Royal Air Force had to do their best to protect their home. They were aided by pilots from all over the world, including India. The speech commemorates the bravery and resolve of the airmen. The great air battle, which has been in progress over this island for the last few weeks, has attained a high intensity recently. It is too soon to attempt to assign limits, either to its scale or its duration. We must certainly expect that greater efforts will be made by the enemy than any he has so far put forth. On the other hand, the conditions and course of the fighting have been favorable to us. There is no doubt the enemy is, of course, far more numerous than us. But our new production, along with our allies, already largely exceeds his. We believe that we shall be able to continue the air struggle for as long as the enemy pleases, and the longer it continues, the more rapid will be our approach, first towards that parity, and then into that superiority in the air, upon which, on a large measure, the decision of the war depends. The gratitude of every home in our island, in our empire, and indeed throughout the world, except in the abodes of the guilty, goes out to the British airmen who, undaunted by odds, unwearied in their constant challenge and mortal danger, are turning the tide of the world war by their prowess and by their devotion. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Our hearts go out to the fighter pilots whom we see in action every single day, every single hour, every single moment, trying to protect our homeland from an enemy far greater, far bigger, and far more sinister. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush. Ladies and gentlemen, the virtual medium should not stop us from applauding the participants. We could all use the virtual clapping applause icon, the icon for applauding. So let's show our appreciation, admiration to our contestants. That was Ayush as the inspirational statesman, orator, and leader, Winston Churchill. Next, we have Jeena Shrestha from Fishtail Academy Secondary School, Pokhara, Nepal.
I hope I'm audible, ma'am. Really good afternoon to every teachers and my dear fellow friends. In a country like ours, women can vote today, but 100 years in the most advanced nation of its time, Britain, a woman had no such rights. Today, I, Gina, will impersonate as Emmeline Pankhurst, who made it her life's mission to empower women and to be able to vote, and succeeded in going so in her lifetime. Ever since my girlhood, a period of about 30 years, I have belonged to organization to secure for women, which I have felt was essential to bringing about those reforms which women need. We have tried to be womanly, we have tried to use feminine influence, and we have seen that it is of no use. We have presented larger petitions that were ever presented for any other reform. We have succeeded in holding greater public meetings than men have ever had for any reform. We have faced hostile mobs at its street corners because we were told that we could not have that representation for our taxes, which men won unless we converted whole of the country to our side. Because we have done this,
Mama.
misrepresented, we have been ridiculed, and we have had contempt poured upon us. The ignorant mob at the street corners has been incited to offer us violence, which we have faced unarmed and unprotected by the safeguards which cabinet ministers have. We know that we need the protection of the vote even more than men needed it. So, sir, if you decide against us today, to prison we must go. Although the government admitted that we are political offenders and therefore ought to be treated as political offenders are invariably treated. We shall be treated as pickpockets and drunkards. We are driven to do this. We are determined to go on with the agitation because we feel in honor bound. Just as it was the duty of your forefathers, it is our duty to make this world a better place for women than it is today. This is the only way we can get the power which every citizen should have of how the taxes she contributes to should be spent and how the lobby she has to obey should be made. And until we get the power, we shall be here. We are here today and we shall come here over and over again. Well, sir, this is all I have to say to you. We are here not because we're the lawbreakers. We are here in our efforts to become the lawmakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. I can't possibly express in words. That was such a compelling performance. Well done. Excellent. Next, we have Prashna Gurung from Fishtail Academy, Secondary School, Pokhara, Nepal.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, dear, we can.
Good afternoon, honorable judges, teachers, and my lovely friends. We all know about Nobel Prizes, but the first woman to win was Mary Curie. She had discovered radio and became a glowing example to think scientifically to the girls and women of all time. Today, I, Prashna Guru, will reignite your words to awaken your curiosity. Even now, after 25 years of intensive research, we feel there is a great deal still to be done. We have made many discoveries. Harry Curie and the suggestion he has found in his notes and in thought he expressed to me has helped guide us to that. But no one understands much. Yet, each of us perhaps can catch a gleam of knowledge which modest and insufficient of itself may as a man dream of it. It is by these small candles in our darkness that we see before us. Little by little, the dim outlines of the great plan that shapes the universe. And I am among those who think for this reason, science has a great beauty and with its great spiritual strength will in time cleanse this world of its evil, its ignorance, its poverty, diseases, war, and heartache. Look for the clear light of truth. Look for unknown new roads. Even when man's sight is keener for the now, divine wonders will never come. Every age has its own dreams, lived in the dreams of yesterday. You, take the torch of knowledge and build the Paris of the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashna. That was beautiful. Thank you very much for participating. Next, we have the Heritage School, Kolkata.
Unmute yourself. Ankita, ma'am, please.
Yes,
ma'am.
thank you,
Am I
ma'am.
clearly audible?
Yes, you are. Reshmi Das Gupta from the Heritage School, Kolkata.
Good afternoon. Today, I will be reciting a speech by Shah Rukh Khan about the most valuable gifts he received from his father. My father was very poor. He was unemployed and struggling to make ends meet for the 15 years of my life that I had the privilege of knowing him. Not being able to afford fancy gifts, he would wrap up something old and declare it as my birthday gift. When I was 10, my father gifted me an old chess set. Now, chess is a reflection of life. As cliched as it may sound, it is probably true. The first thing it teaches you is that every move has a consequence. Think your moves through, not always, but often enough, so that your life doesn't look as black and white as a chessboard. Sometimes, in order to move forward, you might need to take a few steps back. There is no loss in doing something that hurts in the short run but proves worthwhile in time. You cannot get anywhere in chess if you don't look out for the little ones, the small pawns. Life is like that too. If you forget the smallest of your people or become foolish enough to imagine that the little graces you're given are of no value, you end up nowhere. When you look around, you notice tiny things which make your existence privileged and special. Taking your blessings for granted is the most ungracious, both in chess and in life. Then there is what they call Zugzwang. For those who have never played chess, it is when you get so stuck that whichever move you make is a bad move. When you are in Zugzwang, don't panic. With little embarrassment, you will survive it. As the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland said, if you don't know which way you're going, it doesn't matter which road you take. The next thing my father gave me was a camera. And the most beautiful thing about it was that it did not work. I learned that things don't always have to be functional to fulfill a need. Sometimes, when things are broken, the greatest creativity emanates from the fragments. I found myself looking at my world magically through the unusable lens. The fact that there was never any actual photograph taught me my most important lesson, that creativity is a process of the soul. It does not need an outcome or a product for the world to accept. It needs only the truth of its own expression. So don't be afraid of your own creativity. It is an expression of your deepest selves. All creativity isn't for everyone to like or understand. All art is not up for sale. Creativity has a bigger role to play. It is to keep you company when you are alone, when you need a friend, when the world doesn't seem to understand you. Your creativity will be the only thing that keeps you inspired and satisfied. Mine is poetry. I write I write rubbish poetry. It's so bad that sometimes I cringe to read it myself. But I write it. It is mine to make me feel free and happy. So, boys and girls, go forth, be free, have fun, make mistakes. You will succeed because the genes that your parents have provided you with will always look after you. And when you succeed, don't forget to thank your least favorite teacher because they actually cared for you the most. Love you all. Be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Reshmi. The speech was beautifully delivered. May I ask you why you decided to deliver this speech in particular?
Ma'am, because Shah Rukh Khan said the speech at the Brought Awards in India as a message to students
Okay.
about
it
how
it really appealed to you?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Reshmi. You were great. Next, we have Aditya Shankar Nath from the Heritage School, Kolkata.
Good afternoon. Today, I will be delivering Leonardo DiCaprio's speech at the United Nations on climate change. President Abraham Lincoln was also thinking of bold action 150 years ago when he said, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves and then we shall save our country." He was speaking before the US Congress to confront the defining issue of his time, slavery. Everyone knew it had to end, but no one had the political will to stop it. Remarkably, his words ring as true today when applied to the defining crisis of our time, climate change. As a UN messenger of peace, I have traveled all over the world for the last 2 years, documenting how this crisis is changing the natural balance of our planet. I have seen cities like Beijing choked by industrial pollution, ancient boreal forests in Canada that have been clear cut, and rainforests in Indonesia that have been incinerated. In India, I met farmers whose crops have literally been washed away by historic flooding. In America, I've witnessed unprecedented droughts in California and sea level rise flooding the streets of Miami. In Greenland and in the Arctic, I was astonished to see that ancient glaciers are rapidly disappearing well ahead of scientific predictions. All that I have seen and learned on this journey has absolutely terrified me. There is no doubt in the world scientific community that this is a direct result of human activity and that the effects of climate change will become astronomically worse in the future. Now think about the shame that each of us will carry when our children and grandchildren look back and realize that we had the means of stopping this devastation, but simply lacked the political will to do so. Our planet cannot be saved unless we leave fossil fuels in the ground where they belong. Massive change is required now, one that leads to a new collective consciousness, a new collective evolution of the human race, inspired and enabled by a sense of urgency from all of you. We all know that reversing the course of climate change will not be easy, but the tools are in our hands if we apply them before it is too late. Now is the time for bold, unprecedented action. It is time to ask each other, which side of history will you be on? As a citizen of our planet, it is time to declare no more talk, no more excuses, no more 10-year studies, no more allowing the fossil fuel companies to manipulate and dictate the science and policies that affect our future. Lincoln's words still resonate to all of us here today. We will be remembered in spite of ourselves. The fiery trial through which we pass will light us down in honor or dishonor to the last generation. We shall nobly save or meanly lose the last best hope of Earth. That is our charge now. You are the last best hope of Earth. We ask you to protect it, or we and all living things we cherish are history. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. That was great. Can I ask you a question? How long exactly did it take you to master this accent? I'm just inquisitive. I don't mean to offend.
Oh, yes. I didn't actually try putting any effort. I grew up in Dubai, where this was the natural accent that I grew up with. I didn't try to master it or anything.
And do you feel as strongly about environment and nature as Leonardo does? You've muted yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, I cannot unmute myself unless without your permission.
Okay.
So, indeed, I feel very strongly about climate because we are growing up we, the next generation, we are growing up into a world where the climate is going to the dogs. So we need to pull it out from that horrible situation. And it is our responsibility as the next generation to do so. So yes, I do feel as strongly as Leonardo.
Okay, that's great to hear. Thank you, Aditya. Next, we have Audrey Gongopadhyay from Agrasen Boys School, Howrah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Audrey Gangopadhyay, and I am going to deliver the speech Tryst with Destiny, which was delivered by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on the eve of our Indian independence. Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. A moment comes, which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends, and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. It is fitting that at this solemn moment, we take the pledge of dedication to the service of India and her people and to the still larger cause of humanity. At the dawn of history, India started on her unending quest, and trackless centuries are filled with her striving and the grandeur of her successes and failures. Through good and ill fortune alike, she has never lost sight of that quest, forgotten the ideals which gave her strength. We end today a period of misfortune, and India discovers herself again. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. Mrs. Ilja Peacock. Ma'am Peacock, would you like to ask any of the participants any question?
Ma'am, I thank you for the opportunity. I will save my comments for the end of the program.
Okay.
Not directly
Thank
to
you,
anyone, but for all of them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Omartha Kumar Mondol from Agrasen Boys School, Howrah.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot also drive out hatred. Only love can do that. Said by Dr. Martin Luther King, a person who I'm sure needs no new introduction. Today I, Omartha Kumar Mondol, will say a small portion from his speech, I Have a Dream, which he gave on the 28th of August 1963. And this is how it goes. And so, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day my four little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with this vicious racist, this governor, having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day Every valley shall be exalted, and the hills and mountains shall be made low, and the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed for all flesh to see together. This is our hope, and this is the faith that I go back to the south with. Thank you.
Thank you, Amortho. That was great. Our next participant is Prapti Chatterjee from Agrasen Balika Shiksha Sadan, Howrah.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, I, Prapti Chatterjee, am going to deliver a speech by Malala Yousafzai adapted from her speeches on the occasion of Nobel Prize distribution ceremony held in 2014 and at the United Nations. Education is one of the blessings of life and one of its necessities. Dear sisters and brothers, dear fellow children, we must work, not wait. Not just the politicians and the world leaders. We all need to contribute. Me, you, we. It is our duty. We realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced. In the same way, when we were in Swat, the north of Pakistan, we realized the importance of pens and books when we saw the guns. Why is it that countries which we call strong are so powerful in creating wars but are so weak in bringing peace? Why is it? Why is it that giving guns is so easy but giving books is so hard? Why is it? Why is it that making tanks is so easy but building schools is so hard? One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
That was Prapti as the world's youngest Nobel Peace Laureate. You were great, Prapti. Thank you. Our next participant is Shreyoshi Chakraborty from Agrasen Balika Shiksha Sadan.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon to one and all present over here. Today, I'm about to deliver a speech given by Jeremy Anderson on knowing one's worth, which he had originally delivered at the Eric Thomas Stay Ready conference. Let me speak to that one person who feels like they lost their worth, their value. Now, this is a dollar bill. Now, if I go to the store and there's something for 90 cents, can I buy that with this dollar bill? Okay. Now, if I go to the store and there's something for 85 cents, and after tax, it ends up being 96 cents. Can I buy that with this dollar bill? Okay. All right. Now, what if I roll the dollar bill? Think about it now. Like I just rolled the dollar bill. How much is it worth now? Maybe like 95 cents? It's still worth $1? Listen, y'all gotta pay attention. I just rolled this dollar bill up, so it's clearly not worth $1 anymore. Okay, all right. So, what if I step on this dollar bill? Like I just stepped on it. How much do y'all think it's worth now? Maybe like 65 to 68 cents? It's still worth $1? Okay, all right. Now, what if I roll this dollar bill, I step on it, I put it in trash, and look over here. Here's some gum, beer, and a bunch of other nasty stuff. And the guy off the street pulls up the dollar bill and unfolds it. How much do y'all think it's worth now? Maybe like 82 cents? Come Come on, it was 92 cents. It's still worth $1. Okay, all right. So what if I roll the dollar bill, I step on it, put it in trash, pull it out, and look over here carefully. I tear this in two halves. Think about it now. How much is it worth now? $1? I could take it. Wait, what? Shh. Wait a second. I just fold it up. I stepped on it. I put it in trash, pulled it out, and tore it into two pieces. And you mean to tell me that I can just wipe it a bit? I could put some tape around it, and it's still worth $1? If this dollar bill does not lose its worth and value after going through so many stuff, why do you feel like you have lost your worth and value? You feel like you have been abandoned? You feel like somebody hurt you? Somebody took from you? You have been pushed aside? You feel like you have been stepped on? You feel like somebody hurt you? Somebody took advantage of you and took your courage? You feel like you have lost your worth and value, and I mean to tell you today that this dollar bill just has its worth and value because someone years ago put value over the sides, and it says, no matter what happens to it, it's still worth $1. And I mean to tell you today that you are here, you are created, you are born, and you have life and you have purpose, and there's absolutely nothing that can take your worth and value away. Even if you might have some depression, you might be the one that hurt yourself. You might be the one that has sad thoughts time to time, and you might be the one that is losing their own worth in themselves. I mean to tell you today that there is absolutely nothing that can take your worth and value away. So what you gotta do now? You gotta pick yourself up. You gotta dust yourself off, and you gotta keep moving. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you, Shirshi. That was just some great acting. Great work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, we have Shivangi Singh from Madhustali VIDYAPEETH, Jharkhand.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to reenact on the speech delivered by Bollywood star Priyanka Chopra's speech at Penguin India's annual lecture on breaking the glass ceiling. I want everything. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as you're not harming someone or doing something wrong. Don't be scared to want more for yourself. I don't want anyone to tell me I can't have everything, she said. Be greedy. Be hungry for your ambitions. Don't live on someone else's benchmark who can tell you who you should be. Don't let anyone or any situation dictate to you who you are and who you can be. Adding her own spin to Cinderella's story, Priyanka said, why do you want to fit into the glass slipper when you can shatter the glass ceiling? To be honest, it was never my mission to break the glass ceiling. All I wanted to do was chase my dreams, my ambitions. I wanted to become the best version of me. Today, I know my path is mine, my failures, success, mine. Don't settle on your dreams. When I fail in something that I do with all of my heart and mind, I don't wallow in self-pity. I roll myself in it. It's not a pretty sight. But then I cry a little. I get up and dust myself off and dive straight back again, as the only way to push failure aside is to move ahead, not ignore it, analyze it. There was never a plan. The universe was guiding me through it. All I had to do was make sure that I work so hard that I squeeze every drop out of these opportunities. No matter where you are, no matter where you are, you have never arrived enough to explore opportunities. There's nothing wrong with being ambitious. Ladies, listen to me. People have written me off several times in my career. I went to do Quantico when I was at the peak of my success career here. The risks were huge, the stakes were high, and the repercussions could have been, to say the least, career ending. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivangi. That was a great message and very nicely delivered. Congratulations on your performance. Next, we have Anu Kumari from Madhustali Vidyapeeth, Jharkhand.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to deliver a speech by Emma Watson on gender equality delivered at UN 2014. We all are aware of the term gender equality, but do we really know the exact meaning of it? From the record, gender equality, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused for being called bossy because I wanted to direct the plays that we would put on for our parents, but the boys were not. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of their sports teams because they didn't want to appear muscly. When at 15, my male friends were unable to express their feelings. I decided that I was a feminist, and this seemed uncomplicated to me. But my recent research has shown me that feminism has become an unpopular word. Women are choosing not to identify as feminist. Apparently, I'm among the ranks of women whose expressions are seen as too strong, too aggressive, isolating, and anti-men, unattractive even. Why has the word become such an uncomfortable one? I'm from Britain, and I think it is right that I am paid the same as my male counterparts. I think it is right that I should be able to make decisions about my own body. I think it is right that women be involved on my behalf in the policies and decisions that will affect my life. I think it is right that socially I'm afforded the same respect as men. But sadly, I can say that there is no one country in the world where all women have received these rights. No country in the world can yet say that they have achieved gender equality. These rights I consider to be human rights. But I'm one of the lucky ones. My life is a sheer privilege because my parents didn't love me less because I was born a daughter. My school didn't limit me because I was a girl. My mentors didn't assume that I would go less far because I might give birth to a child one day. And if you believe in equality, you might be one of those inadvertent feminists that I spoke of earlier. And for this, I applaud you. I'm inviting you to step forward, to be seen, and ask yourself, if not me, who? If not now, when? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anu. That was very nicely delivered. Do you personally admire Emma Watson? Do you follow her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ankita ma'am, here I would like to add that we have students from across the border, and we have also students who are staying in some residential schools. So it is really applauding for them that they have prepared themselves in such a nice way, uh, staying in their residential schools without the help of their
Guidance of the
parents.
parents. Yes, all
Yes.
by themselves, they have come out with such, you know, beautiful performances without any help or guidance from their parents. So this is
Yes.
really commendable, and that was great. Anu is also from Madhustali VIDYAPEETH, which is a residential school. Next, we have Lavanya from Holy Heart Presidency School, Amritsar.
Yes, ma'am. May I start?
Yes, please do, Lavanya.
Honorable members of jury, worthy teachers, and my dear fellow competitors, a very sweet good afternoon to all of you. Today I present before you Remember Your Dream, the acceptance speech by lawn tennis player Serena Williams on the occasion of being honored as Sports Illustrated Sportsperson of the Year 2015. I have to tell each and every one of you that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, your age. You can achieve anything that you set your mind to. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the reason that I always say that, because I didn't grow up with the things being handed to me. I had to work hard, I had to be determined, and I had to dedicate myself. And I was, even outside the school. It could be education, it could be business, it could be anything. It requires determination, discipline, and hard work. Most importantly, it requires self belief because, like me, some people might not believe in you, but you have to believe in you. And sometimes you are going to be your own cheerleader, and you have to be your biggest and your best cheerleader. So, as to all you young athletes, take that to heart and never stop believing in yourself. And really, always support who you are. The ride for me was not and has not been easy. And maybe your ride won't be easy either. I have had many struggles. I have had blood clots removed from my lungs. I lived through tragedies and controversies. I have had people look putting me down. I have had people putting me down because I didn't look like them. I am stronger. I have had people look past me because of the color of my skin. I have had people overlook me because I was a woman. I had critics say I'll never win a Grand Slam when I was at number 7. And now here I stand today with 21 Grand Slam titles, and I'm still going. I cannot help but think of my favorite poet, Maya Angelou, and she has this poem called And Still I Rise. It's a long poem, but I just want to quote a bit of it. So here it goes. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Just like moon and suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes and springing high, I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Out of the huts of history's shame, I'll rise up from the past that's rooted in pain. I'll rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and white, welling and swelling. I bear in the tide. I'll rise, leaving behind the nights of terror and fear. I'll rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I'll rise. I am a dream and hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you.
Lavanya, that was a very, very engaging, very fine performance. Lavanya, as Serena Williams, who went on to win 23 Grand Slam singles title.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate their parents have taken such a great endeavor to put proper right makeup to these children.
Yes.
I really appreciate the initiative of Holy Heart Presidency School, and also I would like to remind all our guests and members today that Holy Heart Presidency School has joined us from Amritsar, and they were such a cooperative participant. I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to all the members of Holy Heart Presidency School and Holy Heart Junior School. Over
Thank you
to
so much.
Ankita ma'am. Over.
Finally, we have the home team from M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH. Our own boys, Shivansh Bhura. Yes. You need to unmute yourself.
Shivansh, unmute.
So I was muted. So am
Yes,
I
now
clearly
you're.
audible?
Yes, Shivansh, you are audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will be presenting the speech Let Us All Unite Before You. In this first speaking role, Charlie Chaplin made one of the most moving and thought-provoking speeches in history. In the movie The Great Dictator, a movie written, produced, directed, and starring Charlie Chaplin, he fully evokes his audience to stand against the injustice and to unite against the unnatural men, mainly the great dictator, Hitler. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your heart. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not in one man or a group of men, but in all men. In you the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future, and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power. But they lie. They do not fulfill their promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance, to do away with national barriers. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite! Thank you.
Shivansh, you were great. That was a great performance. Well done. Next, we have Lakshya Tripathi.
Ankita ma'am.
Yes.
I think director sir has raised his hand. Sir would probably like to give some input.
Yes, Director sir, Mr. Neelkant Gupta. So would you like to say something? Is sir unmuted?
Yeah, sir is unmuted.
No. I raised my hand only to appreciate the speech.
All right. Okay, sir.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything. It was just my way of expressing my appreciation.
Okay. So Shivansh, you should be on cloud nine now. Okay. So shall we go on to the next performance then?
Please do. Please do.
Okay. Okay. So our participant, the next participant from M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, Lakshya Tripathi.
Good afternoon, everyone. On 30th March 1992, Satyajit Ray had officially received the honorary Oscar for Lifetime Achievement from Audrey Hepburn. Since Ray was unable to attend the ceremony because of his illness, he had given his acceptance speech as he lay on the hospital bed to the Academy through a recorded video. Today, I shall perform the very same speech before you. Well, that's an extraordinary experience for me to be present here tonight to receive this magnificent award. Certainly the best achievement of my movie making career. From the smartwatch schoolboy, I was terribly interested in the cinema, became a film fan, wrote to Diana Derwents, got a reply, was delighted, wrote to Ginger Rogers, didn't get a reply. Then, of course, I got interested in cinema as an art form, and I wrote a 12-page letter to Billy Wilder's after seeing Double Indemnity. He didn't reply either. Well, there you are. But I have learned everything I've learned about the craft of cinema is by the making of American films. I've been watching American films very carefully over the years, and I loved them for what they entertain, and later loved them for what they taught. So I would like to express my gratitude to the American cinema through the Motion Pictures Association, who've given me this award and made me feel so proud. Thank you very, very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lakshya. That was mesmerizing. Really wonderful.
Ankita ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
We
need to call the participants from IP Memorial.
Sophia ma'am, he is joining from Sophia ma'am's mobile. So technicians, please spotlight Sophia Anthony ma'am to the spotlight. Sophia Anthony ma'am. Yes, right.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am audible?
Yes, you are audible, Abhinav. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Abhinav from IP Memorial, Nilua Howrah, class 7B. I am going to participate in M.C.KEJIRWAL pantomime competition. So let's start the competition. I am presenting Swami Vivekananda's Chicago speech in 1939. So let's start. Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart joy unspeakable to rise and response which you have given us. I thank you in the name of most ancient order of law. I thank you in the name of mother of the religion. I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people in all castes and faiths. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal tolerance, but we believe all religions as true. Always remember, strength is death, weakness is right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav. That was Abhinav as Swami Vivekanand performing his groundbreaking speech. Thank you. The end of a melody is not its goal, but nonetheless, had the melody not reached its end, it would not have reached its goal either. We have arrived at the end of this competition, but not quite the day. May I now request some of our teacher coordinators from the participant schools to share their thoughts with us. Would someone like to speak?
Technicians, please spotlight Seema Chopra from Holy Heart. And Seema Chopra ma'am from Holy Heart. She's there in the meeting.
I would request Seema ma'am to kindly switch on the video, please. Yes, thank you, ma'am. I'll just.
Ma'am,
kindly
yes.
unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Seema Chopra is speaking.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Would you like to share some of your experience and thoughts for the children, and how did you feel participating with us?
First of all, good afternoon, everybody. And ma'am, congratulate to the entire team of M.C.KEJIRWAL for the silver jubilee of your institution. And ma'am, it is a wonderful experience for all the children and me also. They all learned a lot. And I thanks to everybody for arranging the wonderful program. Thank you, ma'am.
Seema ma'am, so glad that you have spoken and you remained with us throughout the program. I just saw that you were constantly watching the program for our junior also. And I must say here, I must add that the participants from your school, they have put up such a wonderful show. I don't know about the result. I cannot comment about the result, but starting from the yoga, say for quiz and today's program, they were just wonderful. The kind of infrastructure you have provided with these children, I really can't without appreciating, it will be very wrong on my part if I don't appreciate for the initiative which your teachers have taken. Marvelous, ma'am, marvelous. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would also look for ma'am Manjari Chatterjee from Heritage School. Manjari ma'am from Heritage School. Manjari ma'am, you are unmuted.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Yeah. So good afternoon, namaskar to the Honorable Trustees, Director Sir Mr. Nilkant Gupta, and my heartiest congratulations to the entire team. So just for putting up a brilliant show. I mean, I was mesmerized. I was just listening to the declamation part, and I'm just, it's so nice to see the children are speaking so smartly, the kind of passages they have chosen. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It goes without saying that they have all put in a lot of effort behind this. And especially I enjoyed the yoga session. I loved it. Thank you so much for giving me a chance at least to extend my, congratulations. And
Manjari ma'am, good
Keka
afternoon.
ma'am, you were so good. Namaskar sir.
कैसे हैं आप?
सर
कैसे हैं?
बस बहुत बढ़िया हैं और
बहुत दिन
बहुत
बाद
ही
में-
खूबसूरत सब कुछ गया और इतना प्रिसिशन के साथ आई एम सो हैप्पी टू सी congratulations to you and the entire team of M.C.KEJIRWAL and students who have taken out their time and this pandemic situation. It's very difficult.
थैंक यू मैम।
Anyhow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting us.
आपको इतने सालों बाद में देख रहे हूँ ऑनलाइन के लिए।
नमस्कार सर, बहुत खुश
नमस्कार,
हुए।
कैसे हैं सब? ठीक है तो सब कुछ?
And Manjari ma'am, I'd just like to join KK sir in saying hello to you.
Namaskar sir, namaskar.
Remember, we used
After
to
a
be,
long time.
we used
I
to
was
be,
under
we
you.
used
I
to
have
be
worked
colleagues
under
many
you.
moons ago. Namaskar.
Yes. We used to listen to you
was
with rapt
you
attention.
worked with me, not under me.
Under you, sir.
Anyway, it's great to see you online,
Sir,
ma'am. Great
it's
to
it's
see
a
you.
kind of
And thank you for your
baby
appreciation.
reunion, sir. It's a kind of baby reunion.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. We also have with us Shanjukta ma'am from Birla High. Shanjukta ma'am, are you here from Birla High?
Ma'am, I don't think she's
Okay,
in the
okay.
meeting.
Sir, we have Tania ma'am from Agroshen School.
Yeah,
Tania ma'am, if you can say a few words as you are being.
Tanya ma'am, can you? Yes, thank you ma'am for turning on the video. Kindly unmute ma'am. Tanya ma'am, can you please unmute?
Good afternoon, everyone. It was a wonderful experience, ma'am, sir, everyone present over here, and it was as if my own school over there. We had all sorts of help from ma'am, and it was wonderful. My students got a beautiful opportunity to perform over there. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
Ankita ma'am, can you just ask if Hilda ma'am is okay with her judgment?
Yes,
then
ma'am.
if Hilda
Yes,
ma'am can share her thoughts for this program.
Yes, ma'am.
She was busy in judging, so I didn't call her in the beginning.
Ma'am, may I just say that even as the competition was going on, I was taking photographs of my mark sheet and forwarding it to ma'am. So that is simultaneous.
We have received, ma'am. We have received, ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to say a few words to the children, encouraging them?
Certainly, certainly. Thank you so much. I want to say several things actually. Just bear me out. First, thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful, wonderful program on this auspicious day. So this is a kind of a double toned gratitude. I want to thank the members of the managing committee, Mr. Gupta, Mr. Kejriwal, your principal, all your coordinators for even thinking of inviting me. I have known the school, I have watched the school grow over the decades. I know so many of you personally. And so I find it very hard to say no when you ask me. That is one reason. The other reason is I am happy to judge this. I look forward to doing this because of the standard. It's so exceedingly high. There's nobody who will go away from here without having taken something along. And so I want to say several things. Firstly, I want to say congratulations. And I don't want to say congratulations in one blanket term. That would not be fair. I want to say it on two levels. First, congratulations to the team who organized such a meaningful, deeply layered, meaningful event on two occasions. One, the 25th year of your school. And two, on Gandhi Jayanti. So first, congratulations on reaching your silver jubilee. And may M.C.KEJIRWAL go from strength to strength. May you grow in numbers, in quality, in quantity, and the kind of work you do with children. Believe me, nothing can be more rewarding or a greater blessing when you work with children. Take this from an old teacher. And the second thing, that today, on Gandhi Jayanti, you held a function like this. And so, I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Teachers, I'm speaking to the teachers now. You see, year after year, there are competitions, there are elocutions, there are declamations, there are debate, and we listen to this, and we always say it's been wonderful and it's good. But this, for me, is a first. And I'll tell you why. I have never, ever seen something so innovative, something so radically different from the usual run-of-the-mill elocution and declamation competitions. Look at the trouble you have taken to identify the characters. I'm going to give marks to the children on that. Just a minute. Identifying the people who have been, what is the word? I don't want to say copied. That's not the right word. The people whom the children have chosen as role models. I can't tell you, teachers, I'm so deeply impressed. I'm overwhelmed. As a language teacher, I'm very seldom out of words. But today, I'm really dumbstruck. And so you'll have to forgive so many things that I'm trying to say together in this short time. I'm deeply impressed at the whole concept that you get children to dress up, you get children to say something that has been said by this person who is truly worthy. Look at the characters they have chosen. Look at the characters they have chosen and the width, the whole gamut. Men and women who have somehow contributed to the development of human character. And these are the people you have chosen. So I want to say full marks and more to every one of you. The teachers, the management, the think tank, the brain box who have organized this. And my good wishes to you on this auspicious occasion. Now to the children. Children, I don't know whether you've chosen these pieces yourself. I really don't know whether they have been given to you or whether you've chosen it yourself. In my score sheet, I'm very grateful there is no mark for choice of passage. I'm very grateful. Otherwise, I would have had to give you 25 on 10, 36 on 10. How does one even do that? I mean, that's bad mathematics, if anything, if nothing else. The choice of speeches were outstanding. I'm deeply impressed. I'm going to go away. I'm not staying in my own office today. I'm in somebody else's office. I'm on another job. But I've had a most fulfilling moment. Who have I listened to? We have listened to Marie Curie. I've listened to Shah Rukh Khan. I've listened to Serena Williams. I've listened to Charlie Chaplin. I knew that was coming, frankly. When I was looking at the way the speeches were going, I said, you're going to hear the great dictator. You're going to listen to Martin Luther King. You're going to listen to Swami Vivekananda, Jawaharlal Nehru. Those are the well-known ones. Serena Williams, I don't know. I never knew that she even spoke. And Serena Williams is one joy, listening to her quoting Maya Angelou. Double. It's called, you know what, our salespeople will call buy one, take one free. So heartwarming. I'm so impressed. I have run out of words. I can't congratulate you more than this. I just want to say, I'm so sorry that this has been such a difficult competition for me to judge. Don't do this to me again. Don't invite me to judge. Invite me to sit back, enjoy, and clap and show thumbs up. I apologize to those who are going to count my mark sheet now. You'll find there are half a dozen ties. I couldn't help it. I don't like to do this. I don't like to do it. But how does one say he is better than she by half a mark? I can't do that. I can't do that. You were brilliant children. So position, marks notwithstanding, go from here as changed people. Because today you have brushed against greatness. May God bless you. May God bless M.C.KEJIRWAL, its management, its teachers, and everyone who contributes to the life and work of this great institution. Thank you again.
Gratitude is one of the least articulate of the emotions. And truly, as host school, we do not have words to thank the participants enough. It is your enthusiastic participation which ensured the success of M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange, this 3-day inter-school festival. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I would request sir to kindly share the video. Rajoshi sir, can we have the video please?
Yes, ma'am, on it.
नहीं 15 मिनट फिनिशिंग में
the beauty in your face, when all the anger separates us. Smile when you're not afraid to die, but I'm afraid with each goodbye. Lost the sun above my head, lost myself in things I said, and why is all you've ever seen your why behind the screen, and all it means to me when you are not. I'm forgiven, I'm forgiven. When you've been gone, lost in the lapse again, lost in the lapse again. I'm forgiven.
Burdened no more is the soul for whom life flows through dance like breath. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is a classical dance video presentation by our senior students, which is sure to enthrall you. Can we have the video, sir? Wasn't the performance absolutely great? I'm sure all of you are in agreement with me. A big thank you to Bipasha ma'am and her team of students for that wonderful, wonderful dance presentation. Now I would request our dearest director, Mr. Neelkant Gupta, to share his thoughts with us. Sir, if you would kindly oblige.
Thank you, Ankita ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Mrs. Hilda Peacock ma'am. Good afternoon, Chairman sir. I think after Mrs. Hilda Peacock's compelling and wonderful appreciation of the efforts of the teachers and the participants, there's really precious little for me to say. In fact, whatever I say after Mrs. Peacock's very, very eloquent and compelling address and analysis, whatever I say would pale into insignificance. So I think all I should do is, after ma'am's speech, I think all I should do is to maintain a reverential silence. Just a couple of thoughts I'll share with you. I mean, first of all, let me tell all of you how deeply honored I am sharing this platform with Mrs. Hilda Peacock. And also, there's also another outstanding gentleman, and that's our chairman, sir. Now, Mrs. Hilda Peacock is educator extraordinaire and par excellence. Incidentally, she's a great well-wisher, as you would have made out. She's a great well-wisher and friend of the school. We've had the privilege and honor of having her over on a number of occasions. She's helped us with our curriculum. She's helped us with our English language teaching. So, Hilda ma'am, thank you so much for agreeing to come and be a part of this wonderful 3-day fest. May God bless you for this, for all the kindnesses and generosities that you've showered on us. Hilda ma'am mentioned about the symbolic value of one segment of the celebrations being held on Gandhi Jayanti. I think that's a wonderful thing that M.C.KEJIRWAL has done. As a matter of fact, whatever M.C.KEJIRWAL done has many layers and layers of symbols. And Hilda ma'am, you'd be interested to know that the last session that we had of M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange. I think that was the quiz event, if I'm not mistaken. We had it on Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar's birth anniversary. So one was scheduled on Vidyasagar's birth anniversary, another one has been scheduled on Gandhi Jayanti. So there are, like you said, there are deeply layered meanings behind all this. And I think organizing a fest like this, a 25th anniversary celebrations on the Zoom platform in itself is a huge achievement. And Hilda ma'am has already mentioned it. I told you right in the beginning, I mean, whatever I say is going to be a watered down version of what ma'am has so compellingly said. But this Zoom platform is turning out to be something amazing. Because I remember when M.C.KEJIRWAL earlier this year marked its 25th Foundation Day, and it was time for the Silver Jubilee celebrations to be flagged off. And it was decided that these would be a year-long event. So that time I used to wonder that, you know, a school like M.C.KEJIRWAL that has evolved and flourished for 25 years continuously deserves to celebrate its Silver Jubilee in the grandest possible manner, involving as many students and teachers from as many schools as possible, in addition to our own children, teachers, alumni, parents, friends, well-wishers. So would an online platform be an equivalent? I mean, and see how it evolved. I mean, not only has it turned out to be a very, very viable equivalent, and I think it's added a whole new dimension to our lives. And another wonderful thing about Zoom platforming, look at the ease with which we connect with people. The fact that Hilda ma'am is over here is thanks to this. The fact that, you know, schools from as far away as Amritsar, Bangalore, neighboring Nepal, neighboring Jharkhand, they're all taking part in our M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange, thanks to you know, the Zoom platform. If it had been a physical in-person event, this wouldn't have happened. I don't think it would have been possible. It would have been so easy for children from Amritsar to fly into Calcutta, or from children from Bangalore or whatever. So wonderful thing. And also, usually 2nd of October, Gandhi Jayanti is a holiday. And in all my life as a teacher, I've never really been able to, you know, get together with people on 2nd October, because it's been a holiday and people have been enjoying themselves. So this is the first time I've seen, and credit goes to M.C.KEJIRWAL and credit goes to Zoom also, that it's actually brought us all together on Gandhiji's 150th birth anniversary. And Hilda ma'am's already spoken about the wonderful choice of speeches. So many of them was directly connected to, you know, what Gandhiji was all about, whether it was Martin Luther's speech, or whether it was, you know, an environmental issue, or whether what Malala said, or, you know, or what Nehru said, or, I mean, these were all directly and indirectly connected with what Gandhiji is all about. So there again, it's wonderful. And, you know, I shouldn't really ramble after Mrs. Peacock's wonderful speech. One last thought I'd like to say, I'd like to share with you is M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange has really told us what today's children are all about. You know, they're creative, they're confident, they're spontaneous, and they're so unself-conscious, they're so uninhibited, and they express themselves full of effervescence. And these are wonderful kids. Looking at them, I thought, you know, we grown-ups have goofed up this world badly. I mean, there's hardly anything left of this planet. And these children, being as sensible and as rational and as level-headed as they are, chances are they do possess the genius to perhaps, you know, fix things. And children, you must do that. I think you must make it a mission of your existence to right all the wrongs that we've committed. Anyway, the thought that crossed my mind was, a thought by Tagore. Tagore said, every child comes with a message that God is not yet discouraged of them. This places children in the center of our existence. And children should not be in the center of the existence of only teachers and parents. Children should be the center of the existence of the whole world. So children, thank you so much for being, giving us hope, for being rays of hope and beacon. You've really certainly infused a lot of zest for life in me at my stage of life, which is pretty advanced. So thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Hilda ma'am. And before I sign off, I do want to talk about the contribution of our respected chairman, sir. I think when the annals of M.C.KEJIRWAL are written, there will be many chapters on our dear KK sir's contribution to the development of the school. But one chapter will certainly be written in letters of gold. And that is the kind of leadership KK sir provided during the worst of the pandemic times. Worst of the pandemic, when we actually felt there was nothing left in this world. At that time, KK sir worked truly like a warrior saint, and leading from the front and leading the other frontline warriors. That's our teaching and administrative staff, bringing hope, succor, guidance, motivating people, and ensuring that somehow or the other the wheels of education turned. So KK sir, I take this opportunity on behalf of everybody to salute you for your contribution. Everything is your initiative. This 3-day inter-school fest is your initiative, and we've worked under your guidance. And Mrs. Keka Mukherjee was the chairperson of the organization of the celebration committee of the 25 years celebrations. So congratulations to you, Keka ma'am, and congratulations to Keka ma'am and her team. But we wouldn't have been able to do anything without Chairman sir's guidance. Every minute, every second, he guided us. So KK sir, on behalf of everybody, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless your great work and the great work in education and in social service. And thank you very much, everybody, for giving me an opportunity to speak to you. And thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you, Hilda ma'am. God bless you, M.C.KEJIRWAL. God bless you, children. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those generous words. Your words never fail to motivate, encourage, inspire all of us. Thank you so, so much. Now, the most awaited hour is upon us. I will call upon Mrs. Shangomitra Pal, a senior member of the faculty, to announce the results of the yoga competition, Happy Stretch, and both the quiz competitions, M.C.KEJIRWAL Quizich and M.C.KEJIRWAL Mind Spark. All eyes on Shangomitra Pal ma'am.
Thank you, Ankita ma'am. It's been an absolute honor for me to announce the names of the winning participants of the competitions held in the first 2 phases of this 3-day online inter-school competition, Melange. But before I announce, let me just say that boys and girls, you all are winners. That you participated, that you gave your 100% makes you all a winner. It's a competition. For the sake of competition, we have to have, the positions, but it surely doesn't really matter to that extent, because the way you performed all during these, whether it is yoga, Happy Stretch, yoga competition, or the quiz competition, and today the pantomime and the declamation competition, that's the Incognito, you gave everything to it. So congratulations to each one of you. So I'll start off with the yoga competition. Interestingly, it was titled Happy Stretch. There were 4 groups, Group A, Group B, and Group C. So Group A comprising classes 3 and 4. I'll go bottom up. I'll first announce the 3rd place, and then I will move up. So here you can see on the screen, the 3rd place secured by 3 of them. There is Priyanshu Mitra of IP Memorial School, Howrah. There is Rudra Agarwal of class 4 from M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, Howrah, the host school. The 3rd place also secured by David Baird of class 3 of the Heritage School, Kolkata. The 2nd position went to Harshal Samshuka of class 4 of Billa High School, Kolkata. And the 1st went to Abhiraj Paul of class 4 of the host school, M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, Howrah. Congratulations to all these winners. As I said, you all the participants, you are winners. But it's a competition, so we must have the order of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Can't help it. Now let's move on to the 2nd group, Group B, comprising classes 5 and 6. Here also we have this, the fact that they were such a closely fought competition can be made out that so many of them are joint winners. So 3rd position secured here by Priyam Majumdar of class 6, Central Modern School, Baranagar. 3rd position also secured by Pinaki Brahmachari of class 5 from Delhi Public School, Ruby Park, Kolkata. 2nd position went to Onkon Das of class 5 of the host school, M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, Howrah. And the 1st prize went to Rishabh Maiti of class 6, Aditya Academy Senior Secondary, Dum Dum. Congratulations. Congratulations, dear. Moving on to Group C, classes 7 and 8. 1st, 2nd, 3rd. 1st, 3rd, we have Shomujit Bor of Howrah Vivekananda Institution. Next, 2nd position, Abhineet Bhomik of class 7 of Agrasen Boys School, Howrah. And the 1st position, Rupam Kaur of class 7, Aditya Academy Senior Secondary, Dum Dum. Moving on to Quizit, the junior quiz competition. Okay, since here we are, the 1st position went to Veer Singh and Akmal Shahid of class 4 and class 6 respectively. They were together, they were a group of 2 of the host school, M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH. 2nd, Nobonir Bhattacharya and Anish Agarwal of class 4 and class 5 respectively of Birla High School, Kolkata. And 3rd, Tanusha Bunya and Arav Agarwal, both of class 6 of the Heritage School, Kolkata. I must, Nobonir and Anish, the coordination that these 2 kids had, wonderful, wonderful. And such maturity they exhibited. Great. I don't want to single out anybody, but then I couldn't help myself. Next, moving on to Mindspark of the quiz competition of the senior school. First, it's Ronak Malik and Chirag Tulsian of class 8 and class 7 respectively of the host school, M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, Lilua, Howrah. Next, 2nd position, backed by Slok Chakraborty and Avinava Kaur of class 8 of the Heritage School, Kolkata. And the 3rd position, backed by Prisha Chatterjee and Ikra Majid of class 7 and 9 respectively of Madhustali Vidyapeeth, Jharkhand. We had 2 sets of tiebreaker round in order to ensure that we get the position. So it was such closely fought competition, both the levels, both the juniors as well as the senior. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shombu Mishra ma'am.
Thank
you
dear.
so much. Congratulations to all the winners. I would once again go back to the teacher coordinators from the participant schools and request them to share their experiences with us. Would anyone like to say something? Keka ma'am, please help me out here.
We have Sophia ma'am from IP Memorial.
And Keka ma'am, Sanjukta ma'am has also joined.
Yeah, Sanjukta ma'am.
Yes.
Sanjukta ma'am and Sophia ma'am.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes. Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, congratulations to all the participants. Winning is not everything, as I said previously. Participating in a competition like this is more important. Thank you very much, M.C.KEJIRWAL, for giving that opportunity to all these children where they can showcase their talent. Thank you very much. And congratulations for completing 25 years. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia ma'am. Ma'am, Sanjukta ma'am from Birla High is with us.
Yes,
Sanjukta ma'am.
Can Sanjukta ma'am please
yes,
turn on her
yes,
video?
yes.
Yeah.
Hi, a very good afternoon, everyone. It was such a great pleasure and honor for all of us to be a part of M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange. And I must say that our students enjoyed a lot participating there. Thank you so much, Team M.C.KEJIRWAL, for organizing such a wonderful fest for all the, like from junior to senior categories. I'm so sorry our seniors couldn't join because they had their exams during this time, but we made our juniors, though they were also having exams, but we never wanted to miss this opportunity for our children. And heartiest congratulations once again to M.C.KEJIRWAL on your silver jubilee. Well done. And thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to be a part of this great fest. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ankita ma'am, if some other person from
Yes, ma'am.
GD Goenka, we have from GD Goenka also we have, I think her name is also Sanjukta, I think.
Sanjukta ma'am from GD Goenka.
Sanjukta ma'am was.
Ankana ma'am, I'm so sorry, Suchismita ma'am from GD Goenka.
Yes.
Suchismita ma'am from GD Goenka.
Is ma'am unmuted?
Ma'am, can you just switch on your video? Yes.
Ma'am, we would request you to turn on your video.
I cannot find her.
Yeah, we have been able to locate, but then ma'am is her video and audio both are off, so I cannot add spotlight.
Okay,
So
no problem,
add the
Suchismita ma'am.
spotlight.
You can just unmute yourself and you can speak, ma'am. Suchismita ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I cannot start my video on maybe because of some technical issues. It was a very nice experience from our part. I mean, hats off to you people, M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, for organizing such kind of an event. We as well as our children, we enjoyed the event quite a lot. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Keka ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Someone? Okay. Keka Mukherjee ma'am, the chairperson of the Silver Jubilee Celebration Committee, also a senior member of our faculty, has the results of the recently concluded M.C.KEJIRWAL pantomime and M.C.KEJIRWAL Incognito with her. Ma'am, if you would kindly announce the results. Are the results ready, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. We have results for M.C.KEJIRWAL pantomime as well as M.C.KEJIRWAL Incognito. Shall I start?
Yes,
Keka ma'am, just a minute. You just check your WhatsApp once. It's getting ready.
Okay.
We are working on it,
Rajushi
ma'am.
sir?
Yes, we are working.
Rajushi sir, can you just play the virtual tour of the school?
Yes, ma'am, sure. It would be great to
Just a few minutes,
have
ma'am.
a
Just give us few minutes.
tour of the school. Thank you.
In the meantime, everyone can just enjoy the virtual tour of M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH. I would also equally enjoy it since I haven't really had the opportunity.
Lifelong affair. But the question is, where do we begin it? M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH, a school with a difference in Lilua. Welcome to a virtual tour. An institution which aims at the holistic development of its students. We receive you with promises that dazzle on the shelves and achievements that shine on the walls. The atrium, where we gather in the morning to perform our daily morning prayers and rituals. Rock climbing for the little ones. The first lesson is all about overcoming hurdles. Pre-nursery classrooms. Your loved ones begin their exploration here. You leave their hands and we hold them tight. The journey begins. Nursery and KG classrooms. Here they learn to share and care for each other. Learning is always fun. Play Junction, they enter a dream world. It is here where their heart lies. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Children's Park, a small patch of green for our pre-primary kids. Students' Canteen, serving our children with healthy and delicious food items. Infirmary. Regular health checkups are done here. Besides, we have all the necessary first aid arrangements for any emergency. Bright corridors are there to usher them to the world of indoor games and co-curricular activities. It is here where our students develop their skills and efficiency in various indoor games. Chess, carom, table tennis. They learn healthy competition. Art room. Creativity is nurtured here. We shelter their imagination. We provoke their inventiveness. pottery is meditation. Our Malay Munch, a witness to various kinds of school programs which have brought out the latent talents of our students. Laboratories, history, geography, mathematics, robotics, hands-on learning. Children love to come here and study with the help of models, charts, instruments, and audiovisuals. Audiovisual room, a smaller auditorium to have our in-house programs, seminars, and discourses. Music and dance rooms to add rhythm and melody to their lives. Our team of expert musicians and dancers help them explore their creative flair. Computer lab to equip them for the digital age. A click of mouse opens the magical gate. Shh! The library, to whom their reading aptitude, to transport them to the Neverland, to make them wise. We have a collection of 16,093 books, and it is certainly a treasure trove for all M.C.KEJIRWALians. Physics lab to create another Meghnad Shah or Isaac Newton. It has to begin here. All the mysteries of chemistry are unraveled here by our students in this chemistry lab. Biology, the science of life, gets its soul in our biolab. Classrooms. These are the places where teaching, learning starts happening as our students begin their day in school after their assembly, often equipped with smart boards. Swami Vivekananda said, "Football is equally necessary as studying Gita. Basketball, volleyball, cricket, and badminton area. These are the favorite places of our students. We aim high. Come hither, young sir. We will give you experience. Let us celebrate learning.
So that was the virtual tour of our beautiful school, M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH. Rekha ma'am, I would once again have to go back to you for the results. Rekha ma'am there in the meeting? Shongomitra ma'am? Yeah.
She's here.
Ma'am, unmute
Kindly
yourself.
unmute.
Rekha ma'am? Rekha ma'am, you are
Yeah, wait,
muted.
Keka. Yeah, I have sent. Just check. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, children, your wait has come to an end. Now I'm going to announce the position for the M.C.KEJRIWAL pantomime and M.C.KEJRIWAL Incognito. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So as the screen share is already there, for M.C.KEJRIWAL pantomime, that is a role play competition for the junior school. First rank has been bagged by Manthan from Holy Heart Junior School, Amritsar. Great. Second position has been bagged by Anubhav Bansal from M.C.KEJRIWAL VIDYAPEETH, Lilua. Second position has been shared by Purna Roy of GD Goenka Public School, Dakshineshwar, Kolkata. Third position has been bagged by 3 people. Such a competitive fight it was. Third position has been bagged by Binayak Roy Chaudhary of GD Goenka Public School, Dakshineshwar. Third position has also been shared by Ahantika Manna from Agroshen Balika Shiksha Sadon, Lilua, Howrah. And third position has also been bagged by Akshat Mishra of M.C.KEJRIWAL VIDYAPEETH, Lilua, Howrah. I congratulate to all the participants. It's a really commendable job you have done. And also I would like to congratulate all the other participants as well, because each one of you have tremendously performed well. Thank you so much, my little angels. Sir, can I see the results of M.C.KEJRWAL Incognito? Yes. Yeah. Last but not the least, M.C.KEJRWAL Incognito Declamation Competition. First position has been bagged by Shivans Bhura of M.C.KEJRIWAL VIDYAPEETH. Second position has been bagged by Aditya Shankar Nath of the Heritage School, Kolkata. And third position has been bagged by Shreyoshi Chakraborty, Agroshen Balika Shiksha Sadon, Lilua, Howrah. I congratulate to all the winners. Really, you people have made Hilda ma'am. Hilda ma'am is such a big name in our council's English literature faculty, as well as in so many other schools. She is related to so many other schools, and she has she has shared her thought just few minutes back, and you really have made every one of us proud. Thank you so much, children. Ankita ma'am, over to you.
Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you, Keka ma'am. Always smiling, ever helpful. That's our Keka Mukherjee ma'am for you. Moving on, now it's time for the big announcement. The winner of the coveted trophy of M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange 2021. And I would request none other than our respected chairman, Mr. Kishan Kumar Kejriwal, to make the announcement. Chairman, sir, if you would please oblige.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you. And good afternoon to one and all present here. First, let me thanks Mr. Gupta ji for kind words which he have said for me. But all this have happened with the entire teamwork of M.C.KEJIRWAL. What we are celebrating 25th year, the Silver Jubilee year, it's all for the entire team of M.C.KEJIRWAL. Thank you, Mrs. Peacock, for honoring us and being the part of this Melange in our Silver Jubilee year. Thank you, ma'am. I'm coming straight to the point, declaring this award. I'm honored to announce that the overall winner school of M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange 2021 is none other than M.C.KEJIRWAL VIDYAPEETH. Congratulations, boys. But, however, being the host school and being the chairman of the school, and I, on behalf of my entire M.C.KEJIRWAL school and the family, and with due respect to the judges of this mega inter-school competition, would like to forego this opportunity and declare the first runner-up who are jointly winner as a first runner-up winner of the M.C.KEJIRWAL 2021. And the school are the Heritage School, Kolkata, and the Academy, Aditya Academy Senior Secondary School, Dum. They are the first runner-up for this Melange 2021. The second runner-up goes to Birla High School, Kolkata. Congratulations, boys. Birla High School, Kolkata. And the third goes to Holy Heart Presidency School, Amritsar. Holy Heart Presidency School, Amritsar. Congratulations, each and everyone. And last but not the least, I will thank the chairperson of the Melange 2021, Keka Mukherjee, and her team, the entire team M.C.KEJIRWAL, led by her, for hosting the wonderful program Melange 2021 for this three-day program. Thank you once again. Thank you each and every schools, their coordinators, children, whoever have participated in the school in this program. Thank you once again. Thank you each and everyone. Thank you. The trophy for this program, I'm taking this honor, and we will invite the school, the students and the coordinators and the principal of the school in our annual program, the culmination of our Silver Jubilee program, which we are planning for hosting in our school in the month of December 2021. We will invite you in the program, and there we will hand over this trophy and the certificates in the entire in front of our Silver Jubilee program. An open invitation to you all, to all the winners. We will send you in the meantime the cards and everything. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you. Over to Keka ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to just add one thing to what sir has said, that Amritsar School has two branches. One is Holy Heart Junior School and Holy Heart Presidency School. So the second runners up, that is the third position, we are going to give to both these organizations because they are actually one organization, although they have participated in two different headings. But the third position, which we are, sir has announced, that is going to both the schools. So I'm very, very happy that this three event has culminated to a very, very successful ending. And I would really like to extend my, heartfelt thankfulness to all the schools, those who have constantly, given us the support. And no matter where we have gone wrong or no matter what mistakes we have done, so they have accepted that with full heart, and they have just ignored them, and they have extended their constant support for the success of this event. Thank you, KK sir. Thank you, Nilkan Gupta sir. And thank you to everybody. Over to Ankita ma'am. Ankita ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I was on mute again. Sorry. Thank you, Chairman, sir. Thank you, Keka ma'am. Congratulations to all the winners. I would now request our headmaster, Mr. Vishwajit Mojumdar, to propose the vote of thanks. Over to
Thank you,
sir.
Ankita ma'am. Very good afternoon to all of you. I feel extremely honored to have been given the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion and on this auspicious day. At the outset, let me invoke and offer my unfathomable gratitude to the Almighty for being our pilot and maker of this beautiful world. Let me first have the pleasures of offering my vote of thanks to our respected Chairman, Sir, Shri Kishan Kumar Kejriwal ji. I wish I could thank you in apt words. Sir, all I can say is kindly accept our profound reverence and thanks for being our friend, philosopher, and guide in the real sense of the term. I would like to convey my sincere thanks to our CEO, Sir, Parthasarathi Chakraborty, for being a part of this online fest, Melange, an immense source of inspiration. Thanks a lot, sir. My deepest thanks to our revered director, sir, Mr. Nilkan Gupta, for his wisdom and meticulous and acute sense of observation, which makes every show a perfectly perfect one in every way. Thank you, sir. M.C.KEJIRWAL will ever be indebted to you. There are some individuals who always, love to be behind the screen, but always vigilant to make a show the best of its kind. Our principal, ma'am, Mrs. Malika Mukherjee, is an epitome to that. Ma'am, kindly accept my deepest thanks. My special thanks to our Abhay sir for being a part of every endeavor of our institution. Let me thank our chairperson for our 25-year celebration committee, Mrs. Keka Mukherjee ma'am, whose relentless hard work and dedication is making every venture a successful one. My special thanks to all our respected judges for kindly accepting our invitation, right from our yoga competition, quiz, declamations, role play, and give a high standard to the entire online fest. Kindly accept our thanks for being associated with us and support us. We wish we could thank you enough to all the principal, management, teacher coordinators for encouraging us and making our show a great one. We are really, really overwhelmed by your warmth. Thanks to all the teachers of M.C.KEJIRWAL, including our activity coordinators, for their ceaseless support and hard work. And my dear students, you have been the nucleus and the heart of our virtual fest Melange. May God bless all of you and may you prosper in your life. My thanks to our parents for being a part of our journey in every endeavor. My vote of thanks will be incomplete if I do not mention about our excellent and competent IT team to make this virtual fest one of its kind. Thank you very much. I want our admin department to kindly accept my pure thanks for making Melange an unforgettable one. Thanks to this beautiful virtual audience. Thank you everybody for making Melange a grand success. Please stay healthy and take care. Thank you everybody.
Thank you, sir. Albert Einstein said, if you want to make your life a masterpiece, you have to color outside the lines once in a while. And here we are together with our 18 participant schools. Even while tucked safely in our homes, we did manage to create some wonderful, wonderful memories that we can all look back on, cherish, and feel nostalgic about. Thank you everyone for making M.C.KEJIRWAL Melange 2021 such a resounding success. I will take your leave now. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you. Tika ma'am.
Tika ma'am, unmute yourself.
Hello. There was a slight mistake in calculation. The third run-up is also a joint, and the GD Goenka school is there in this. So I congratulate GD Goenka school students also for the joint third runner-up in this program.
Amritsar School as well as GD Goenka both have become the third winner. Yeah. We congratulate to them as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. With everybody's permission, I'm ending the meeting, and thank you for joining us and supporting us.